Hello, friend. Welcome to 10 Bestest, where we sift through the noise so you don't have to. I'm Brian Hart.
I'm Karen McFarland-Holman.
And today I'm going to share a tragic story that turned inspirational and hopeful.
And I'm going to talk about the Light Triad. Let's get to
I'm
it.
going to be talking about an article, and this article is wrongly convicted of murder. Juan Rivera uses settlement money to open barbershop college with his former prison guard in Rogers Park. It's a very long, specific title, but it's so great. So, before Rivera's court appearances, he would go to the prisoner's barbershop for a fresh cut. There, he struck up a relationship with prison guard and barbershop coordinator Bobby Mattinson. As Rivera worked to clear his name, Mattinson helped Rivera get his barber's license, and they talked about opening a barber school together. Rivera's conviction was overturned in 2012, marking a stunning end to one of the most infamous Chicago area wrongful prosecution cases and leading to unprecedented financial statement. So nearly a decade later, he and Mattinson made good on their promise and long-held dream and opened this legacy barber college in April of 21 in Rogers Park in that Chicago area. He says he saw a need. We want to help less fortunate because once they get out, they usually have nothing to fall back on. So, as you can imagine, it does kind of prioritize people that have been in the prison system, but also members of the general public can also enroll. So they do have people that are also doing that. Regular community members, students, high school students, college students, things like that. Students earn a barber's license, but are also taught about financial literacy, customer service, and running a business. So they're learning all different kinds of things. I love this because, you hear about every once in a while these stories of kind of someone that, took this really bad thing that happened in their life. But he was in prison for a long time, and even though DNA evidence multiple times suggested he got put back in 3 different times, it was wild, and how he still came on top, isn't bitter, and is doing so much good. It's such a cool article. Definitely check out Wrongly Convicted of Murder, Juan Rivera uses settlement money to open barber college for his former prison guard in Rogers Park. Longest title ever.
Yes.
But it's worth it. So worth it.
Happy
so cool.
ending.
Yes,
I love it.
You think about finding the silver lining and stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that, because he was
boy.
in prison for rape and murder of an 11-year-old girl, the worst of the worst stuff. But DNA evidence cleared him. He was still serving time. They finally got out. So how he's not just totally against the world and the system. He just totally turned into the other cheek. And the fact that he did it with this prison guard, who someone was in charge of enforcing these rules against him. So cool. What a great story.
Yes, and that it's serving such an important role in supporting people who come out of the prison system that are not supported. There are several other businesses that do that, and there needs to be more.
There's still so much stigma about anybody that's served time, especially in prison. You can't get a job. So.
No. So the people
awful.
I know, and as I get older, I come to know more and more people who have been in prison. And most of the ones who are successful now, they had family help them. They had family who had businesses and hired them. They had family who, but going to a place where people don't know you.
Yeah, they just see that one thing, and they'll find another reason to not hire you.
Right, exactly. So thank you.
You're very welcome.
Love happy stories, happy endings, and they're doing something great in the world. So excellent. I'm going to talk about something in psychology that is, I would say, chapter 2 of something I talked about last week. This week I'm going to be talking about the Light Triad. Last week I talked about the Dark Triad. The Dark Triad gained a lot of momentum in psychological research in recent years. So a group of psychologists asked, is there an opposite? Is there a Light Triad? I'll define the 3 aspects of the Light Triad in a minute, but first I'm going to tell you a little bit about the story of how the explorations into this fairly new niche in psychology were established. Scott Barry Kaufman, David Yadin, Elizabeth Hyde, and Eli Tsukayama collaborated to first look into and clearly define the fundamental characteristics of many of what we would call good. However, Before doing more in-depth work, they first did a key set of experiments where they investigated whether the light triad is simply the opposite of the dark triad. The reason for this is if they are the exact opposites, then studying the light triad isn't actually necessary, since it would just be a simple antithesis. For example, if you have 40% dark triad traits, you'd have 60% light triad traits. Their findings, however, established that the light triad stands on its own with only moderate correlation with the dark triad. The light triad scale, they concluded, has clear scientific utility, and they continued and have completed large-scale studies. The 3 traits in the light triad are defined as, first, faith in humanity, or in other words, generally speaking, humans are good. Number 2, humanism, which is the belief that humans across all backgrounds are deserving of respect and appreciation. And number 3, Kantianism, or the belief that others should be treated as individuals that are important in their own right, not as pawns in one's own game. Some of the conclusions from their in-depth study of 1,500 participants were that people who score high on the light triad scale tend to be intellectually curious, be secure in their attachment to others, demonstrate tolerance of other perspectives, score low on need of power over others, show humility, have an agreeable nature, and score high in measures of life satisfaction. The light triad.
Well, I am very humbled to know that we are perfectly into the light
Aren't
triad.
we, though?
And everybody that watches the show, automatically in.
You are.
Yes.
Be curious.
We should just end the show.
We should just stop now. Here we are. Yes.
Oh, wait, there's that humble part.
Oh, yeah. Oops.
We got to start that, too.
Well, like I said, you have...
You can't be all of them all at once.
Yeah, right, exactly. And I do have to say, so looking in the dark triad and acknowledging, like, we all do some of those things some of the time, but it was really fun to read about the light triad and learn more about it, because it was more in-depth than just good and bad. Like, there's just all of these intricacies about both of them. They're really interesting.
That's cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I was kind of hoping after the dark triad, I was a little kind of down the dumps. So
I know.
It's nice to now we have a little bit of a lighter one.
Yes,
There's
and we're
some
glowing,
hope in the world.
right?
Yes.
We're glowing in the light.
Yes, absolutely. All right, well, yeah, check all those out on our show notes at 10bestest.com/ocean. Thank you so much for joining us, friend. I'm Brian Hart.
I'm Karen McFarlane-Ullman.
And let us know in the comments, what's your favorite silver lining story?
And let us know if you feel like you have a lot of light triad traits.
We know you do because you watch the show. And if you're enjoying the show, please give us a like and share it with a friend.
Stay tuned tomorrow for another great show.
Don't forget to stay curious.